We had a question come in on the video blogs for UARS again, but this time in an individual who's an airline pilot. Now, this is a very, very tricky area. There's certain rules and regulations by the FAA, and in general, as I understand it, and some of these rules are similar to what you see in the Air Force and other military, there's the discussion about sleep apnea. And as we know, that discussion almost always focuses on the concept of the apnea-hypopnea index. Now, in that particular situation, the individual has very conflicting goals because the pilot, on the one hand, may be suffering from daytime fatigue and sleepiness, and therefore that can affect work performance. But there's very strict rules now about how they must treat the condition of sleep apnea when they have the AHI greater than 5. Again, the apnea-hypopnea index greater than 5. So that's a very straightforward case. If you have the condition, you have to inform the FAA or your local board. You have to be tested. You have to go through a variety of treatments and prove that you have actually improved the daytime fatigue and sleepiness. What I want to talk about is that this pilot wrote in asking about UARS, upper airway resistance syndrome. And the problem is, from a medical point of view, because I can't speak to how the FAA or the military or the Air Force deals with the issue of upper airway resistance syndrome. But I can tell you that UARS causes daytime fatigue and sleepiness. And that if you are a pilot and you have this condition, you unequivocally want to go forward with testing. In this particular case, the individual is describing how they had already begun using nasal strips, an oral appliance, and I believe from the note, what they were saying is they could actually feel some improvement by doing so. But it's critical to go forward with testing in a sleep center. As I've said recently in another blog, UARS can be diagnosed with proper sensor instruments. Almost every state in the country has sleep centers that would be testing for UARS now. If you can't find one in your city, find another city in your state. If you can't find one in your state, there's probably one in the state, in a neighboring state. We'd be happy to test you here in New Mexico. There's places in Stanford and New York. There's really no reason why you can't find reasonable testing for UARS now. And again, if you're a pilot and this fatigue or sleepiness is affecting your performance, it's absolutely critical that you get tested for safety purposes because you have a medical condition that is causing you the potential to be impaired while you're trying to do your job.